So if you've never listened to a Supreme Court oral argument, here are the things to know. The first thing to know is that there will be no video. The Supreme Court does not allow any videos of any of its hearings. In recent years, it has started allowing live audio though, so you can at least hear it live. What's also interesting about these Supreme Court arguments is that formally, it's a conversation between the lawyers and the justices. But sort of informally and more meaningfully, the 9 justices are often actually talking to each other, because often these oral arguments are actually the first time that the justices are getting together as a group to talk about the case. Sometimes they're even using their questioning to try to persuade their colleagues to think about the case in similar ways. This isn't going to look like a typical courtroom hearing. So there's no witnesses testifying. We're not going to hear from Donald Trump himself. The only people we're going to hear from are the lawyers, the parties, and the justices. The first voice you're going to hear is Chief Justice John Roberts, who's going to sort of call the court into argument. The first lawyer you're going to then hear is a lawyer named Jonathan Mitchell, who's going to argue for Trump. And usually the justices allow the lawyers to have about 60 seconds of uninterrupted time. And then after that, it becomes a free-for-all. So you're going to hear basically a bench of 9 justices all peppering Jonathan Mitchell, the first lawyer, to argue. It's scheduled to go on for 40 minutes, probably will last longer than that. When the justices are all done with Mitchell, then another lawyer will get up, and that'll be Jason Murray, who's arguing the case for the Colorado voters who are challenging Trump's eligibility. And it's basically the same process. There will be also a third lawyer arguing at the end, and that's a lawyer for the Colorado Secretary of State's office. And the reason that she'll be arguing is that there are questions about Colorado state election law. At the very end, Jonathan Mitchell will get a brief rebuttal to sort of make his final points and basically get the last word, because Trump is the one appealing. The whole process could last anywhere from 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours. Would not be unheard of in a case like this. Once the argument is over, in the coming days, the justices will then meet privately in what's called a conference, and they'll take a vote on how they want the case to come out. And eventually, within the next few weeks or months, we'll learn the decision of the court.